Hello guys. Recently I watched a web series. Name is Slow Horses. It is a British web series and it is supported by Apple TV. A fantastic web series. It has 3 seasons. It is a workplace comedy and a spy thriller combined together. It's a fantastic web series. I think after a long time, I actually binged on a web series like this. Maybe after Jason Bourne, the spy thriller of Matt Matt Damon. So it is a fantastic workplace comedy plus a spy thriller, which is a very strange combination, but it's very effective. Let me tell you, Slow Horses is there are 3 seasons in the web series. First season came in I think early part of 2022, April I believe, and the second season came in December 22. Third season was launched in November 23 recently, and the fourth season is also coming in the production. So important point here is to understand Slow Horses, which is a web series, and how it can help us from career driving school perspective or from career driving perspective. So all the 18 episodes in 3 seasons, 6 episodes in each season, they were fantastic. They were 3 different stories of these characters. Now let me just brief you about how Slow House, which is a fantasy web series, can help us from career driving perspective. So first of all, let me start with saying that Slow House is named after, as you know, MI5 is supposed to be the best British intelligence agency that takes care of all the global terrorism, global business interests, global political interests of UK, and they are also into corporate espionage, government, federal espionage, etc., etc. All those gray areas of politicking and supremacy over the globe. So MI5 is supposed to be consisting of brilliant agents. We know that James Bond is one of the most shining example of British intelligence. So James Bond is, on the other hand, a very polished guy, very shiny, very articulate, meticulous, organized, intelligent, brave, very athletic, physically active, and charming. This is the James Bond that we know. But Slow Horses basically represents MI5 agents that are gone out of business because of career mistakes that they have made. Very minor career mistakes also, but they are made, and hence they are not considered to be actively engageable assets, so to say. And at the same time, they cannot be fired also. The mistakes are not of grave nature, and because of which they cannot be directly fired. So there is a way in between wherein they are transferred to Slough House, SLOUGH, Slough House, which is considered to be a dump yard for MI5 agents. So if anything is out of favor, if anybody has committed a mistake that can be sustained or managed, he is sent or demoted to a Slough House wherein they are supposed to document they are supposed to manage files, basically documents. And this is basically a congregation of futile agents or out of work agents or broken but mended agents. So this kind of situation, Slow House is slow, SLOUGH house, and the slang is Slow House, SLO horses. The people working in this Slow House are slow horses. The horses that cannot run, basically. Horses are supposed to be running, and if they can run properly, then only they can be used in the day-to-day routines of not only MI5 but any daily routine. And if the horses are not running properly, at the same time they cannot be shot. Hence, they needs to be demoted to and sent to Slough House, where they will just wait to run the time out. So this is what slow horses are that are demoted to Slough House, and this is basically the corollary. The analogy that I can think about is MI5 agents that are active can be considered as toppers or scholars, whereas people who are demoted because of certain mistakes in their lives, careers, not studying, for example, at the right time, they are demoted to Slough House and they are called slow horses because they cannot run and hence they are useless. So slow horses, the analogy is this. Not only in espionage or MI5 parlance, but also in careers. Anybody who has committed mistakes in their lives, in their careers, in their personal, social, political area of work, they are considered slow horses and they are considered to be useless because they are not able to match the speed at which you are supposed to run. They are not able to match the speed at which James Bond can work. They are not shiny, they are not organized, they are not meticulous, they are not smart, and they are called slow horses. So this is the thought process behind this. So anybody who is out of favor, as I said, anybody because of politics, anybody who has committed mistakes in their careers are sent to slow horses. Now, does that the crux of the series is, does that mean they are useless actually, or they are just blamed and damned for their careers to stay there in slow house as a slow horse? Then let us understand what the thought process is, because the acting is brilliant, the theme is brilliant, the writing is brilliant, the dialogues are brilliant, the action is brilliant, the comedy is brilliant, and the pace of the dull office also is brilliant. So they have very clearly shown the contrast of a typical James Bondish setup, James Bondish actions, James Bondish emotions. These are normal people. Basically, slow horses are normal people who have committed mistakes, and yet they are agents. Though out demoted, but they are agents. So let us understand what we can learn from this. First is toppers versus failures or losers. That is James Bond versus slow horses. These are doing the same thing, but you can very easily understand what toppers can do in their lives and what losers do in their life from academic perspective. Similarly, what James Bond you can imagine, what slow horses can be imagined in a similar setup of MI5 kind of area of work. See, basically, slow horses are in a bad place with bad people. Bad in the sense, people who are not supposed to be fast enough. And then there's a bad boss that is governing them. We'll come to the characters at a later stage, but this is what the setup is basically. And then since they are in this, they are sidelined basically. They are bored of their lives, they are bored of their careers, and they are basically waiting for their time to end. Or some of them are basically trying to plot their comeback to the park, as they say. MI5's headquarters is called the Regent Park, and slang is the park. So if you are not in the park, you are in slow house. So basically, this is a midway. If you are not in the park, you can be either dead, or you can be fired, or you can be terminated. The in between way is, if you are not in the MI5, the park, then you are in slow house, or you are a slow horse. So you will be given mundane and routine work that did not be very skillful, or that need not need any special intelligence or physical activities. That is how slow horses are utilized in the whole MI5 parlance. So their leader basically is Jackson Lamb is a leader. Gary Oldman, the actor, has played this character fantastically well. I really liked it. As I said, I have binged on this web series, and hence I can talk about it. Very few web series, as I said, very few episodes of web series that have surprised or even kept me captivated is Jason Bourne series, and this one. This is fantastic. You must watch it. Whatever way possible, you must watch Slow Horses and learn from it. Let us come to the characterization. The leader is a very well-reputed, Jackson Lamb is the name of the character. He's a well-reputed agent in his heydays. He has worked in Istanbul, he has worked in Moscow, he has worked with the best of his colleagues and worst of his enemies. So he is actually qualified to do all these kind of activities, and unfortunately, because at the zenith of his career, he had to kill his friend in the field, because friend is a traitor. Teacher, basically. Teacher is a character that is the head of MI5 or first desk, as they say. Head of MI5 is first desk, called first desk. Teacher is to be killed because he is sharing information to Russian spies, and he is basically compromising the security issues. That is why Jackson Lamb, being a very good friend to Mr. Teacher, had to kill him in a bathtub, and it has to be portrayed as a suicide. But by doing this, Jackson Lamb emotionally reaches a stage where he says, "I'm not interested in any on-field job now. At the same time, I don't want to be civilian also. Let us do something which will just balance which will balance the risk and the resources and the energy required. But at the same time, I don't want to be civilian also." So he opts for a slow house. Basically, he opts for slow house, and he then becomes a leader of Slow Horses. So his objective is to join Slow Horses. Is basically he wants to get out of the field. As I said, he don't want to be a civilian. So he asked for a slow house because he could just run the time out. He's just waiting for him to end his career, and that is exactly why he is shown to be very disorganized, very bad in eating habits, cholesterol, bad smoking habits, drinking habits, not very well dressed, not very well physically hygiene wise, keeps on farting, etc., eats and sleeps on the couch. Not well, not his hair are not combed, etc. He brushes his teeth twice a month, as he famously said in one of the web series, and no deodorant. So all those activities, basically, this gentleman is running away from life. He doesn't want to be civilian, and at the same time, he doesn't want to be active agent on field because he has seen enough and he has done enough and he has enough of it. So that is how he becomes a boss of slow horses. So this is the aspect. And the most important thing why he has chosen the slow horses, the slow houses, because nothing matters here and nobody gets hurt. So he is not in the field and he is not doing any substantial work also, because of which he doesn't have to run and keep his own life or his people's lives in danger. He doesn't have to take anybody's life, at least theoretically, and that is how he comes into the he becomes a slow horses leader. The characteristic that is shown as a Jackson Lamb, the character is, though he is shown to be disrespectful and not caring about his colleagues and team members, but at heart he's a very good agent, and he cannot brush it off the carpet, below the carpet. He basically respects and cares for his teammates. He never shows it. He's not very visible. He's not very showy in their emotions and feelings, and he doesn't like to lose basically. His basically colleagues or compatriots or enemies in the MI5. So he has two enemies, basically two types of enemies: the outsiders and insiders. Insiders in MI5, for example, Lady Di or Taverner, who is also, they are worked very closely previously. They are both of them are competing also at the same time, and obviously the outsiders like Russians and all those outsider enemies are always there. So he doesn't like to lose. And second important point is he doesn't like to. He calls his teammates Joes, and he doesn't like to lose any of his Joes. And if anything happens to Joes, he will not forgive and forget who did it, and he will come back to them. So this is what the character is. He tries to basically, though he, as I said, he's not showing the respect or any carefulness about his partners or colleagues or Joes, so to say. But when one of his colleague Min dies, he basically fights with Lady Di, who is the second desk, who is the second highest authority in the MI5, to get him a state funeral, which is declined. But at the same time, he fights for it. So that means he respects his colleagues and respects his juniors. Then, but never shows it. So this is very important. In one point, he says. They are bad losers. They are losers, but they are my losers. So that means I will support them. I will fireproof them. In one of the episodes, he has requested, he makes sure that the colleagues that are taking part in the abduction gone wrong must be fireproof. No harm can come to them back if the plan is successful. So these kind of situations wherein he tries to fireproof his colleagues, he tries to support his colleagues, he tries to protect his colleagues, and he fights for them. And so this is his basically character, Jackson Lamb, who is the leader of slow horses. Though he's shown to be slow, he's not. And last of all, he wants his people to be in the office, in the slow house, doing nothing. That is far better. In his opinion, that is far better than being in the field and doing things which they are not capable of. In one of the, when Moody, I think, when one gentleman tries to kill them, he accidentally slips off the stairs. The villain, slips off the stairs and dies by breaking in his neck. And Min is the agent. Min is name of the agent, Min. So Min is standing, and Jackson comes there and asks how he died. And Min says, "Oh, it was not my intention to kill him." Then Jackson said, "Thank God, he's died because your intention was not to kill him." That means if your intention was to kill him, he would certainly be alive now. He's so confident about their uselessness. That is the point. So this is about Jackson Lamb, the leader. Then there is the other aspect from career perspective is office politics. So there are multiple characters in the web series. For example, one is River Cartwright, he has a very good, prestigious and illustrious grandfather, who is a very, very well-known spy in the industry, in the MI5 or the spy industry, and he is there in the MI5. But in one of the training exercises, he makes big mistakes, because of which a lot of people are supposed to die because it's just training exercise, but the training has failed. and unfortunately, he has to be, because of the failure to handle the training itself, he is demoted to slow house and he becomes a slow horse. Now, this itself, the objective behind making sure that River Cartwright fails in the training exercise is to remove him from MI5 and to make him a slow horse, so that he doesn't create any additional pressure, because he basically, first is his grandfather is a very well-known spy, and he tries to live up to the expectations. The second is, while in one of the projects of tracking Taverner, who is a second desk, he gets access to some of the planning meetings, and he takes photographs of some meetings of Lady Di, that is Taverner, the second desk, with Mr. Black, they are planning abduction of a Muslim youth. That is out of their purview, that is out of syllabus for them, but they are using it to further their own careers and to make sure that the budgets get increased and make sure that the image is created, because we are doing fantastically well, security is good, and our team is doing fantastic. So all to prove all these pointers, MI5, we are supposed to protect citizens and civilians. They basically plan kidnapping of a Muslim boy, a college-going boy, and this meeting is basically seen by Mr. River Cartwright, who is a upright agent. And see, once the Lady Di or the second desk comes to know about all this availability of the photographs that can put them in danger, they plan for River to fail and get out of the MI5, and he is transported or demoted to slow horse, and he becomes a slow horse. And very peculiar thing, while in this incident, while Mr. River agent is going through the training exercise on the airport, the description given to him of a possible terrorist is a blue shirt and white tie and blue shirt, whereas the actual description is exactly opposite: blue shirt and white tie. So the confusion is made between blue shirt and white tie and white shirt and blue tie, because of which River actually identifies a different person, not the terrorist, but a different person, and the training is failed. That is how he gets ousted from the MI5 active duty, and he is converted into a slow horse. So even after he is in slow house, he basically, Sidney Baker, who is again one more agent, active agent, is positioned. He is transferred to slow house, just to make sure, just to keep an eye, to keep watch on River. So these are office politics games. Even Jackson Lamb, who is leader of the slow horses, he also keeps on politicking with MI5. MI5 also tries to collaborate and tries to compromise and tries to use slow horses for their own interest and for their own failures to cover ups, etc., etc. So these are office politics angle. Then there are characters which are very important. Roddy Ho. Roddy is a activist. He's a hacker. He's a brilliant mind. He's also transferred to slow horses because he's too ambitious or he's too intelligent for people in MI5, and they fear him of going ahead of them. That is why he is transferred to slow horses or slow house. So Roddy Ho is a target of office politics and is transferred here. He likes to show off. Basically, he likes to show off. He's a very, very obnoxious character. He's shown to be. And he likes to show off by saying that he knows the password of Lamb. He knows the boss's password. So, and he says that the password is password. So he likes to show off, and he's also a victim of office politics. Then there is a Louisa Guy, who is a lady, and she is demoted to a slow house because of trailing operation failed. Then there is Min, as I said, Min who dies. He forgets secret file on train. All these mistakes are committed by this gentleman or the lady, because of which they are demoted from MI5 active duty to slow house. Then there is Truan, who has sent inappropriate mails using official email ID, and he's desperate to get back to the park, the head office, MI5 head office park. Then there is Shirley, who had anger issues. Then there is Marcus, who has a gambling habit. Then there is Catherine Standish, who has worked with Alan, the Lamb's friend, teacher, who has got killed as assistant, and she is a alcoholic basically. So in summary, these slow horses. They are basically good agents, good-hearted people, but since they have committed some mistakes, they are demoted to slow house, and hence they are called slow horses. Now the point here is, even after all this, the slow horses end up covering MI5, the active agents commit mistakes and failures and botch the cover-ups, and all these botched cover-ups and failures are then taken care by slow horses. So basically, the toppers, whatever activities that toppers could not do, these slow horses are doing, or they are supporting in doing it, and or they are supporting in covering up all these botches and cover-ups. So slow horses are basically taking care of the mistakes made by MI5 active agents or toppers, so to say. So this is a story, and in the end, they are becoming heroes even after being a slow horses. So this is the basically a plot, or this is basically the background or theme of slow horses, and that is how I really liked it. The combination of direction, action, the background theme, music, the production value, the production values, right thing. It is fantastic, and you must watch it. There are 18 episodes total, 3 seasons, 6 episodes each, and 4th season is coming very soon in next 6 months. If you want to learn and get entertained at the same time, Slow Horses is a recommendation, is a 5-star recommendation. Please go ahead and watch it. Thank you very much.